Have you ever wondered why some live in endless lack while others, with no more talent than you, draw wealth, love, and success as though destiny itself bends toward them? Do you not feel deep within that there is a hidden power in you, a sleeping genius, a secret law waiting for your command? Right now, in this very breath, the key to healing, abundance, and peace rests not in the world outside, but in the vast, unfailing mind within you. My beloved friend, listen carefully, for what I reveal now has the power to remake your destiny. For countless years, humanity has searched for the hidden treasure, the philosopher's stone, the lamp of Aladdin that grants every desire. Yet the true treasure was never hidden in palaces nor buried in the sands of time. It is here within you, closer than your very heartbeat. Your subconscious mind is that lamp, and your word of faith is the flame that awakens it. Have you not read in the scripture, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he"? Proverbs 23:7. The heart, in the ancient tongue, means the subconscious. It is the silent engine shaping your destiny. Whatever image you impress upon it, whatever belief you plant within it, whether for good or for ill, will spring forth after its own kind. Your present life, with its victories and its defeats, is nothing but the harvest of seeds once sown in this inner soil. The great error of man is that he thinks circumstances hold him prisoner. He believes he is chained by lack of education, by the weight of poverty, by the sickness of his body, or by the failures of the past. Yet these are but shadows, mirages born of false belief. The true law declares, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." Romans 12:2. Transformation is not by force, not by struggle, but by renewing the images you permit to dwell within. Consider this: Thomas Edison, a boy expelled from school for being unfit, held in his imagination the light that banished the darkness of the world. Andrew Carnegie, arriving in America with nothing but courage, impressed upon his mind the image of vast steel empires, and the subconscious opened doors beyond reason. Walt Disney, laughed at by critics, held in his inner sight kingdoms of wonder, and today millions walk in the dream he dared to impress upon his mind. Do you see the secret? The subconscious does not argue, does not question. It receives every thought as law. If you say, "I cannot," it echoes back circumstances of defeat. If you say, "I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me," Philippians 4:13, then unseen forces move, divine order reshapes, and the world rearranges itself to mirror your inner decree. What then is the law of belief? It is the golden key, the prime mover of destiny. What you believe truly and deeply, not with the lips alone but with the heart, becomes the fabric of your world. Job declared, "Thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee." Job 22:28. Your decree is your belief clothed in words, ignited by feeling, and sealed with conviction. You may say, "But Joseph, I have prayed, I have wished, yet nothing changes." I tell you, it is not the outer words, but the inner conviction that shapes results. Prayer is not begging a reluctant God. Prayer is the soul's inner knowing, the acceptance of the answered state. When you imagine yourself already in possession of your desire, when you feel the thrill of it as real, your subconscious accepts that impression and begins at once to make it fact. Think of the farmer. He plants a seed of corn, and he does not doubt. He does not dig it up to see if it grows. He trusts the soil, the law of growth. So too must you trust the soil of your subconscious. Impress the idea of wealth, of harmony, of health, of love, and then raise it in faith, knowing that what you plant in secret shall be shouted in your life. Fear not if appearances seem stubborn. Appearances are but the old harvest still lingering. Sow the new seed, and in due season you shall reap, if you faint not. Poverty consciousness, fear of lack, dread of illness, these are weeds, the tares among the wheat. Cast them out by replacing them with the truth. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Psalm 23:1. Declare this not as a ritual, but as a living truth, and your subconscious will respond with abundance in unexpected ways. I tell you, wealth is not created by toil alone. There are countless men who labor endlessly and yet remain poor, for their subconscious is filled with thoughts of lack. Wealth flows where belief permits it. Money is but frozen belief, the material reflection of inner conviction. When you cease to fear poverty and begin to accept abundance as natural, money comes in ways unforeseen. Opportunities arrive, ideas flash, doors open where before there were only walls. There was a man I once knew, crippled by debt, terrified of the future. Every night he rehearsed his worries. Every day he repeated, "I cannot pay my bills." His subconscious faithfully produced more lack, more debt, more fear. At last he learned the law. He began instead to affirm, "Infinite riches are now freely flowing into my life. I am divinely prospered, and all my needs are met instantly." He felt it. He pictured it. Within months, unexpected contracts came, debts dissolved, and abundance flowed like a river. This is no accident, but the unfailing law of belief. Napoleon Hill, after interviewing the titans of his day, declared the same. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But belief is the key. You may conceive castles in the sky, yet if you secretly believe you are unworthy, your subconscious rejects it. Therefore, align your inner conviction with your desire, and the two become one. Let us speak of healing. The body is the servant of the mind. Disease is often but a reflection of discordant thought. Carl Jung observed that what is not made conscious appears in our lives as fate. Many who carry bitterness, resentment, fear find it written in their very flesh. Yet healing comes the moment you plant in the subconscious the image of wholeness, the feeling of peace. Jesus said, "What things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them." Mark 11:24. Believe you have received, feel the reality of health. The subconscious will then restore the body, reorganize the cells, harmonize the functions. Ernest Holmes, the great metaphysical teacher, affirmed, "The infinite creative power of the subconscious is ever ready to act in response to your thought. Hold before your mind the radiant image of yourself, vibrant, strong, at peace, and it must come to pass." The subconscious, being impersonal, knows not whether you imagine sickness or health. It will manifest whichever seed you impress. Therefore, guard your inner speech, for your subconscious hears every word. Now, my friend, let me guide you in a simple yet mighty practice. Tonight, when you rest upon your bed, turn your thought gently but firmly to your desire. If it be wealth, imagine yourself counting the money, feeling the joy of financial freedom. If it be love, picture yourself embraced, cherished, united in harmony. If it be health, see yourself radiant with energy, free, vital. Lull yourself to sleep with this image. The drowsy state is the bridge where thought enters the subconscious. In that holy hour, the seed takes root, and as surely as the dawn follows night, your life will echo the dream you planted. Remember always, the subconscious mind is the faithful servant of belief. It does not judge, it does not reason, it only creates. Therefore, fill it with image is of truth, and your world shall shine with the glory of the infinite. The law is simple, yet it is profound. As you believe in your heart, so it is done unto you. When you look at your present circumstances and declare, "This is who I am," you mistake the shadow for the substance. Your life is not the result of chance, nor is it dictated by fate, nor by the cruelty of men. It is shaped moment by the images you hold, the words you speak inwardly, the convictions you allow to dwell in your subconscious. Many cry out, "But Joseph, I have believed and still nothing has changed." I tell you, belief is not wishing, nor is it a half-hearted hope. Belief is knowing. It is the inner acceptance that your prayer is already answered. Jesus said, "According to your faith be it unto you." Matthew 9:29. Faith is not a future expectation. It is a present possession. It is the act of seeing what you desire as already yours, regardless of appearances. Suppose you were to receive a letter informing you that a great inheritance has been left in your name, to be collected at the appointed hour. Would you not already rejoice, though the money has not yet passed into your hands? Would you not feel relieved, secure, and confident even as you wait? That is the nature of faith. You rest in the certainty that what is promised is yours now, though it is not yet visible. The subconscious, receiving this feeling of certainty, begins to open channels for its manifestation. Non-resistance is a sacred law. Too often men wrestle with conditions, resist appearances, and struggle with fear. Resistance only multiplies the very thing you resist. To resist poverty is to keep the thought of poverty alive. To resist illness is to keep the image of illness vivid. Instead, turn to the higher law. Replace resistance with acceptance of divine order. Declare, "I rest in the infinite wisdom that guides all things. I accept abundance, harmony, and peace as my true state." In that quiet surrender, doors open that were invisible before. Andrew Carnegie once said that the greatest discovery of his life was that the mind could be conditioned for wealth as surely as soil could be conditioned for harvest. He trained himself daily to picture success, to affirm abundance, to feel prosperity as natural. Out of this mental habit grew industries that transform nations. You too must cultivate the habit of abundance within. Think wealth, feel wealth, imagine wealth, and wealth will grow around you as naturally as fruit upon the tree. Beware of idle words, for your subconscious hears all. To say, "I cannot afford it," is to impress limitation upon your mind. Instead declare, "It is God's pleasure to give me the kingdom. Infinite supply meets all my needs." Do not say, "I am poor," lest the subconscious echo it in your affairs. Say instead, "I am rich in divine ideas, and these ideas clothed in form bring me wealth in perfect ways." Poverty is not a thing, it is a state of consciousness. Shift the state and the outer must follow. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. The mirror does not argue, it reflects. If you see poverty, it is your thought reflecting itself. Change the thought and the reflection must change." Let us speak of love. Every soul longs for union, for harmony, for companionship. Yet how many chase love outwardly, pleading, yearning, fearing rejection? The law is the same in love as in wealth. Impress upon your subconscious the image of yourself loved, cherished, respected, united. Feel the joy of companionship. Walk as though you are already whole, already chosen, already adored. Then the law of attraction, which is but the law of subconscious correspondence, will draw to you that which matches your inner state. I recall a woman who wept for years crying, "No one loves me." She lived in loneliness because her subconscious accepted her declaration as law. When she learned the truth, she began to affirm, "I am divinely loved. I radiate harmony and joy. The one who belongs to me by divine right now comes into my life." She pictured herself walking arm in arm, felt the happiness of union, and soon, without effort, she met the one who answered her inner decree. In healing, the principle is the same. A doctor may prescribe medicine, a surgeon may cut away diseased tissue, but if the subconscious mind continues to hold the image of sickness, the condition will return. True healing comes when you see yourself whole within, when you clothe your subconscious in the garment of health. He sent his word and healed them. Psalm 107:20. The word is the thought, the image, the belief impressed upon the subconscious. One man dying of tuberculosis came to me desperate. He had wasted away. The doctors had given him up. I told him nightly to picture himself running on the beach, strong and free, breathing deeply of the fresh air. I urged him to feel it as though it were happening now, to fall asleep in that vision. Within weeks his health improved. Within months he was whole again. He had given his subconscious a new pattern, and the body reorganized itself to match the inner image. My friend, your destiny is not fixed. It is fluid, pliable, obedient to your belief. You are not a victim of fate. You are the architect of your life. One thought, deeply believed, can alter the course of your years. Think now of the seed you wish to plant. Is it wealth? Then declare, "I am a child of the infinite, and infinite riches flow to me freely." Is it health? Declare, "The healing presence of God flows through me, restoring every cell." Is it peace? Affirm, "The peace of God fills my mind and heart, and nothing can disturb me." The greatest prayer you can utter is thanksgiving. When you give thanks for your desire as though it were already yours, you confess belief in the unseen. Gratitude is faith in action. Begin each day by giving thanks. Thank you, Father, for abundance flowing into my life. Thank you for love surrounding me. Thank you for perfect health, for peace, for opportunities. Gratitude tunes your subconscious to the frequency of supply, and life responds accordingly. Mark this truth. The subconscious is impersonal. It does not care whether you impress success or failure, joy or sorrow, life or death. It will bring forth whatever you plant. Therefore, choose carefully. Guard your thoughts, for they are seeds. Speak only what you wish to see manifest. Imagine only what you desire. Feel only what you long to experience. For the subconscious, once impregnated with belief, will bring forth a harvest more abundant than you can now conceive. This is the law that set men like Edison, Carnegie, and Disney apart. They were not favored by fate, but by faith. They dared to see the unseen, to believe the incredible, to trust the invisible, and what they saw in the inner world, the outer world could not resist. So I say to you, begin this very night. Take one thought, one image, one affirmation, and impress it upon your subconscious until it becomes your conviction. Do not scatter your power across 100 desires. Choose one, believe it, feel it, live it inwardly, then watch as your destiny reshapes itself around that seed. Remember, friend, one thought can change your destiny forever. My friend, we have laid the foundation, the law of belief, the vast creative power of the subconscious, the truth that man becomes what he imagines in the silence of his heart. Now let us go deeper, for the journey of truth is endless, and each step awakens within you greater freedom, greater power, greater peace. Do you know why so many fail to see the manifestation of their prayers? It is because they live in double-mindedness. One moment they affirm abundance, the next they confess One day they picture health, the next they speak of illness. They plant a seed of faith and then uproot it with fear. James declared, "A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways." James 1:8. The subconscious does not respond to the wish that is fleeting, but to the belief that is constant. Therefore, the first discipline of the awakened soul is singleness of thought. Choose this day what you shall believe and abide in it. If you choose wealth, then speak only of supply, think only of abundance, feel only of prosperity. If you choose health, then banish the language of sickness. Walk as though the healing is already done, for as surely as day follows night, the subconscious must bring forth after its kind. Some will say, "But Joseph, the evidence of my senses contradicts me. My body is weak, my purse is empty, my days are troubled." I say to you, appearances are not final. They are but the residue of yesterday's thought. The substance of things hoped for is invisible, yet it is more real than what you see with the eye. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. 2 Corinthians 4:18. The unseen thought, the invisible conviction is eternal, and it will shape the visible world. Let us take the case of fear. Fear is faith inverted. It is belief in the power of evil rather than in the power of God. Fear is the great paralyzer, the enemy of progress. Millions are bound not by iron chains, but by thoughts of fear impressed upon the subconscious. Fear of failure, fear of poverty, fear of sickness, fear of rejection. These are the invisible prisons that hold men captive. But hear this truth: fear has no power except the power you give it through belief. It is written, "God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love, and of a sound mind." 2 Timothy chapter 1:7. The spirit of fear is not of God, it is a false belief. The antidote to fear is faith. Not faith as a mere word, but faith as the living acceptance of God's presence within you. A young man once came to me trembling with dread. He feared he would lose his position, feared he would never succeed. I taught him to replace his fearful self-talk with affirmations of truth. Each morning he declared, "I am full of faith. The divine intelligence guides me. Success and promotion are mine by right." He pictured himself excelling, trusted the law, and his subconscious began to outpicture his new belief. Within months his fears vanished, and he rose to a position greater than he had imagined. The subconscious does not create evil. It creates what you decree. If you decree fear, it will clothe fear in form. If you decree faith, it will clothe faith in victory. Now let us speak of visualization, for it is the language of the subconscious. Words alone may pass through the conscious mind like wind through a field, but images charged with feeling sink deep into the soil of the heart. Every invention, every empire, every work of genius began first as an image in the mind of its creator. Edison held before his inner eye the glowing filament, and the world was illumined. Disney held in imagination a world of joy, and the world still walks in his dream. Your imagination is the workshop of destiny. Picture what you desire as vividly as you can. See the details, hear the sounds, feel the sensations. The subconscious does not distinguish between the imagined and the actual. It accepts both as real. When the image is clear and the feeling is intense, the subconscious begins at once to bring it into manifestation. But you must dwell upon it with persistence. A passing thought is like a spark. It lights no fire. A sustained imagination charged with faith is like the sun's rays focused through a lens. It ignites reality. This is why Jesus declared, "What things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them." Mark 11:24. Belief and reception are acts of imagination. You see it within, you accept it within, and then it must appear without. Do not think this is idle fancy. Even science now confirms it. Athletes who mentally rehearse their sport with vivid imagination activate the same parts of the brain as when they perform physically. Surgeons who picture their operations improve their skill. Musicians who practice inwardly grow in mastery. Imagination, when fused with belief, impresses the subconscious, and the subconscious moves heaven and earth to bring it forth. But beware, imagination can be misused. Many dwell on worst-case scenarios, rehearse failure, picture disaster. Their subconscious accepts these images and produces them in life. Guard, therefore, the gate of your imagination. Fill it with noble images, holy visions, radiant pictures of success, health, love, and abundance. Prayer, my friend, is not pleading with a distant God. Prayer is the soul's inner assumption of the answered state. When you pray, do not beg, accept, see it done, feel it real, thank God it is so, then rest, and the subconscious will make it fact. This is why Jesus said, "When ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them." Prayer is receiving in consciousness before you receive in form. Do you see how all is connected? Belief, imagination, prayer, these are not separate acts, but one continuous flow of thought into the subconscious. The subconscious, once impressed, governs your destiny with precision. It will open doors, create opportunities, bring people, inspire ideas, and arrange conditions in ways the conscious mind cannot foresee. Trust, therefore, in divine order. Many grow impatient. They say, "I have prayed, I have imagined, but still not." Hink. And so they despair, dig up their seed, and the harvest withers. Yet nature itself teaches patience. A seed sown in spring ripens in summer and is harvested in autumn. Each seed has its appointed season. So too with your prayer. Once impressed, it is already yours in the unseen. Trust the process, wait in faith, and in due time it shall be established. Non-resistance is your shield in this waiting. Do not fight appearances. Do not wrestle with delay. Say instead, "All things work together for good to them that love God." Romans 8:28. Rest in that truth. The subconscious in its wisdom is arranging all for your highest good. What seems delay is preparation. What seems loss is but the clearing of the way. Trust, and you will see that divine order never fails. My beloved, the law of the subconscious is the law of life. Use it with wisdom, and you will rise from fear to faith, from lack to abundance, from sickness to health, from loneliness to love. This is no theory. It is the eternal law by which prophets, saints, inventors, and pioneers have shaped their destiny. Now let us press further, for in the next breath we shall speak of abundance in its highest form. Not merely money in the hand, but the consciousness of supply that never ends. Abundance, my friend, is not measured by coins alone. Money is but one stream in the infinite river of supply. True abundance is the consciousness of sufficiency, the inner knowing that all your needs are met in perfect ways. When you establish this consciousness, money flows. Opportunities arise, friends appear, health blossoms, and peace reigns. For abundance is not what you gather, but what you are aware of. Poverty is ignorance of the infinite. To believe in lack is to deny the fullness of God. Jesus said, "I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly." John 10:10. Abundance is the natue. Real state of the child of God. It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, but you must accept it, you must believe it, you must claim it as yours now. How do you claim abundance? First, by ceasing to identify with lack. Stop speaking of what you do not have. Stop declaring what you cannot afford. Such words impress scarcity upon your subconscious, and the subconscious faithfully mirrors them in life. Speak instead of supply. Declare, "I have all I need and more. Infinite riches flow to me freely. God's wealth is mine now." Second, picture yourself already prosperous. Imagine the life you would live if abundance were yours. See yourself in the home you desire, traveling where you wish, giving generously, living freely. Do not picture it as someday, but as now. The subconscious accepts the image you impress, not the time you assign to it. If you place your good always in the future, it will remain there. Place it in the now, and the subconscious must bring it forth. Third, cultivate the feeling of wealth. Wealth is a state of mind. Feel rich even if your purse is empty. Feel prosperous even if your accounts are low. Gratitude will help you here. Give thanks for what you have, however small, and the feeling of wealth will grow. That feeling is the magnet that draws greater supply. Fourth, practice generosity. The miserly soul shuts the door of abundance, for he lives in fear of loss. The generous soul opens the floodgates, for he affirms by his giving that supply is infinite. Give of your time, your love, your service, your money as you are guided, not foolishly but joyfully, knowing that what you give returns multiplied. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together and running over. Luke 6:38. History is filled with men who tapped into this law. Carnegie gave away vast fortunes, and yet his wealth multiplied. Rockefeller built hospitals and universities, and his fortune endured. These men understood that money is a servant, not a master, a tool of good when guided by the law of giving and receiving. But remember, abundance is not limited to wealth. There is abundance of health, of love, of peace, of opportunity. See abundance in every area of life. Speak it, feel it, live it inwardly. Your subconscious will respond by weaving abundance into the fabric of your days. Now let us consider the law of love, for love is the highest wealth. Without love, riches are but dust, and health without joy is but existence. Love is the harmony of the soul with God and with man. It is the recognition that the same life animates all, the same spirit breathes through all, the same God indwells all. When you love, you align with the highest law. Love dissolves fear, heals wounds, attracts harmony, multiplies good. Hatred, resentment, jealousy, these are poisons impressed upon the subconscious, and they manifest as discord, illness, and lack. Forgive, therefore, as you would be forgiven. Release bitterness, and you release yourself. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor, therefore love is the fulfilling of the law. Romans 13:10. One woman, embittered by betrayal, carried her resentment for years. Her body grew ill, her fortunes declined, her life soured. When she learned to forgive, to release the offender into God's hands, to affirm love instead of hate, her health returned, opportunities opened, and joy filled her life once more. The subconscious had been healed of its poison, and so her world was healed. You may say, "But Joseph, how can I love one who has wronged me?" Love is not approval of evil. Love is recognition of God in the other, even if the outer mask has erred. You can affirm, "I bless the God within him. I release him to divine justice. I walk in love and freedom." In doing so, you heal yourself and you open the way for divine order to work in both lives. My beloved, all these laws of belief, of imagination, of prayer, of abundance of love are not separate but one. They are the facets of the diamond truth that God is within you, and his kingdom is your subconscious mind. When you awaken to this, you cease to live as a beggar and begin to reign as a son of the infinite. So tonight, choose your thought with care. Plant one seed of faith, nurture it with imagination, water it with gratitude, clothe it with love, and rest in trust. In time you shall see it blossom into health, wealth, peace, and joy. This is the law, unchanging, unfailing, eternal. And remember always, one thought can change your destiny forever. My beloved friend, you now stand at the threshold of a greater revelation. For the truths we have spoken of, belief, imagination, prayer, abundance, and love, are not mere fragments of philosophy. They are the eternal principles by which heaven and earth are governed. And when you learn to apply them, you do not beg for scraps of life. You command life itself because you align with the divine law that cannot fail. Let us speak first of surrender, for many struggle in vain because they attempt to force results by the conscious will alone. They strain, they wrestle, they push, and yet the more they strive, the more the goal eludes them. This is because the conscious mind, though sharp, is but a tool. It is the captain, but the subconscious is the ship. The conscious mind chooses the destination, but the subconscious carries you across the ocean. When you surrender to the higher mind, you cease to struggle and begin to trust. Surrender is not passivity nor laziness. It is the calm confidence that infinite intelligence knows the way better than you. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Proverbs 3:5-6. Your part is to imagine the end, to accept the answer, to affirm the truth. The subconscious, guided by the infinite, arranges the means. Consider the case of George Muller, who built orphanages housing thousands of children without ever asking man for a penny. He held his vision, prayed with certainty, gave thanks for the supply before it came, and trusted divine order. Food, clothing, and funds always arrived in perfect time. He surrendered to God's higher wisdom, and the subconscious, one with the infinite, drew supply from sources unseen. When you surrender, you move from fear to peace. Fear says, "What if it does not happen?" Surrender says, "It is already done." Fear fights appearances. Surrender ignores appearances and rests in the unseen reality. Fear scatters energy. Surrender concentrates it. Do you recall the words of Jesus in Gethsemane? "Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done." Luke 22:42. This is the highest prayer, not begging for outcomes, but aligning with the infinite wisdom that knows the perfect way. And paradoxically, when you release the tight grip of the conscious will, the subconscious works freely, unobstructed, to bring forth the good you desire. Now let us turn to the mystery of non-resistance. Resistance is the child of fear. When you resist an evil, you give it life. What you fight grows stronger, for you feed it with attention and emotion. To resist poverty is to keep your mind on poverty. To resist illness is to picture illness. To resist failure is to rehearse failure. Non-resistance does not mean resignation. It means turning your thought away from the false and affirming the true. Jesus declared, "Resist not evil," Matthew 5:39. He meant, do not fix your mind upon the evil, lest it multiply. Instead, affirm the good, and the evil withers for lack of attention. Darkness is not driven out by struggle, but by light. Fear is not dissolved by resistance, but by love. Lack is not destroyed by worry, but by affirming abundance. Take the example of a businessman burdened with enemies who slandered his name. He spent years resisting them, airing their accusations, defending himself, and the more he resisted, the stronger they seemed to grow. At last he learned the law. He ceased resisting, ceased answering, ceased giving energy to their malice. Instead he affirmed, "No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Divine love surrounds me. Divine truth protects me." Within months, his enemies turned elsewhere and his business flourished. Non-resistance had dissolved the problem by removing his energy from it. Beloved, the subconscious does not discriminate between what you love and what you hate. Both are impressed upon it with equal force. To hate a thing is to attract it as surely as to love it. For in both your mind dwells upon the object. Therefore, turn your attention wholly to what you desire and let go of all resentment, fear, and struggle. Now let us consider the healing power of spoken word. Words are thought clothed in vibration. They carry into the subconscious the quality of the belief behind them. Idle words, negative words, fearful words are seeds of destruction. True words filled with faith and love are seeds of creation. Solomon declared, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." Proverbs 18:21. When you speak of sickness, you impress sickness. When you declare lack, you impress lack. But when you affirm health, wealth, harmony, and peace, you plant those seeds in the subconscious, and they grow in kind. Begin, therefore, to discipline your speech. Let every word be a word of blessing. Say not, "I am poor," but "I am rich in divine ideas, and these ideas produce wealth." Say not, "I am sick," but "The healing presence of God flows through me now." Say not, "I am afraid," but "God hath not given me the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind." In time, these words impressed upon the subconscious will rearrange your outer life. Do you know the story of Florence Scovel Shinn? She taught countless souls to use the spoken word as a decree of truth. One woman, desperate for a home, was two. Ought to affirm daily, "Infinite Spirit opens the way for my right home, and I give thanks that it comes to me now." She affirmed it, she believed it, she spoke it aloud with conviction. Within weeks, a perfect home beyond her conscious means was placed in her hands. The spoken word, impressed with faith, brought it forth. Words are powerful, but words without feeling are barren. The subconscious responds to the word charged with emotion. Speak your affirmations with feeling, with joy, with thanksgiving. Feel the truth of what you declare. Then the subconscious accepts it as real, and manifestation follows. Beloved, I tell you, healing, wealth, love, and peace are not distant dreams. They are within your grasp now. The subconscious is like fertile soil, and every word, every thought, every image is a seed. Sow only what you wish to reap. Nurture it with faith, water it with gratitude, protect it with love, and trust the divine law to bring the harvest. And know this, the harvest may come in ways you do not expect. The supply may flow through channels you never imagined. The healing may arise in ways that surprise you. The answer may appear suddenly, as if from nowhere, but it will not be nowhere. It will be the subconscious, one with the infinite, arranging all things for your good. Rest, therefore, in faith. Speak your word, picture your desire, believe in your heart, and then release it, trusting the higher mind to bring it forth in perfect order. For thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. Job 22:28. Beloved soul, I tell you a great secret. The universe always mirrors your inner state. Life is but a reflection of what you believe. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you believe you are weak, life will echo weakness. If you believe you are strong, life will echo strength. If you believe you are unlucky, misfortune will line your path. If you believe you are guided, supplied, and protected by divine love, doors will open where none seem to exist. This is why Jesus said, according to your faith be it unto you. Matthew 9:29. He did not say according to fate, nor chance, nor the will of others, but according to your faith. For your faith is the mold, and the subconscious is the substance that fills it. Faith is not a vague hope, nor a mere wish. Faith is knowledge in the heart that the thing already is. Faith says, I already have it, though my senses see it not. Faith rests in the unseen, trusting the law that thought becomes form, and faith works by love. Without love, faith is cold, mechanical, brittle. With love, faith is alive, magnetic, irresistible. Think of Thomas Edison, who carried in his heart the image of light long before the first bulb glowed. Think of Walt Disney, who walked through empty swampland and saw a kingdom of joy rising where others saw only mud and mosquitoes. These men believed in visions unseen by the eye, and by faith impressed upon the subconscious, those visions became reality. You too can be an Edison, a Disney, a creator of worlds. Now let us explore abundance in greater depth. Poverty is not an outer condition, it is an inner belief. To think of oneself as poor, to rehearse thoughts of lack, to envy the wealth of others, this is the true poverty. For the subconscious mind, receiving such impressions, can only bring forth after its kind. But when you affirm, I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind, it is my right to be rich, happy, and successful. Money flows to me freely, joyously, endlessly, and in divine order. You uproot the false belief of lack and plant the seed of wealth, and wealth in due season will appear as surely as the acorn becomes the oak. Andrew Carnegie, who rose from a poor immigrant boy to the wealthiest man of his age, understood this. He declared that the power of thought was his greatest treasure. He trained his mind to on riches, to imagine vast enterprises, to see abundance where others saw only hardship. And the subconscious, impressed with these images, orchestrated men, means, and opportunities to fulfill his vision. Do not say, I cannot afford it. That is the language of poverty. Say instead, it is mine by divine right. Infinite supply meets all my needs in perfect time and perfect way. Do not envy another's wealth, for envy affirms lack. Rejoice in their prosperity, and you align yourself with the same law. Say, what God has done for others, he now does for me, and more. Beloved, money itself is neutral. It is neither holy nor profane, neither evil nor sacred. It is a symbol of divine supply, a form of energy that takes shape according to your consciousness. If you condemn money, call it filthy, resent those who have it, you repel it. If you bless money, see it as God in action, a servant of good, you attract it. For what you bless increases, and what you condemn diminishes. Let us now turn to love, for love is the fulfilling of the law. Love heals, love harmonizes, love prospers. To fill your heart with resentment, bitterness, hatred, or jealousy is to poison your subconscious with destruction. To fill it with love is to unlock the greatest power of all. Carl Jung, that great pioneer of the psyche, said that all neuroses stem from an unlived life, from love withheld, from energy turned inward instead of outward in blessing. Love is not mere sentiment. It is the recognition of the divine in yourself and in others. To love is to see through appearances to the truth of being. If you seek love, do not chase it, for to chase is to affirm lack. Instead, become love. See yourself as loving and lovable. Affirm, divine love fills me, surrounds me, and flows through me. I attract the right companion by divine selection. I radiate love, and love returns to me multiplied. Speak these words, feel them, believe them. Then the subconscious one with infinite love will draw to you the perfect companion at the perfect time in the perfect way. Beloved, non-resistance, surrender, faith, abundance, love, these are not scattered truths. They are one law, one pattern of mind, one eternal rhythm. And as you learn to live in harmony with this rhythm, your life will flow like a river, peaceful, powerful, unstoppable. Do not fear tomorrow, for tomorrow is shaped by your beliefs today. Do not dwell on the failures of yesterday, for yesterday is gone. Begin now, in this moment, to affirm truth, to visualize good, to speak blessing, to trust the higher mind. Do this, and you will see your life transformed. Say now within yourself, I am one with infinite intelligence. I am guided by divine wisdom. I am prospered by divine supply. I am healed by divine presence. I am loved by divine love. All that I need flows to me now in perfect order through the power of my subconscious mind. And as you say it, feel it, for feeling is the secret. Believe that it is already so, and it shall be established unto you. Beloved, you hold within yourself the key to destiny. Guard it, use it, speak it, live it, for this one thought, that the subconscious mind united with faith and love can do all things, is the thought that changes your destiny forever. Beloved, you have journeyed far with me, yet the road of discovery is endless, for the infinite is inexhaustible. You began by learning the law of belief, that as you believe in your heart, so shall it be done unto you. You saw how imagination, prayer, faith, and love impress the subconscious with patterns of life, and how divine order unfolds in ways that defy human reason. And now, at the threshold of completion, I must tell you a greater mystery still, that the power you seek is not apart from you, nor above you, nor in the distant heavens. It is within you, here and now, closer than your breath, nearer than your heartbeat, waiting to be recognized. You have been taught from Healed to look outward, to authorities, to systems, to fortune, to fate, but Jesus declared the kingdom of God is within you. Luke 17:21. This is no metaphor. It is the supreme revelation of truth. The kingdom, the harmony, the supply, the joy, the abundance, the wisdom, the love is already implanted within your subconscious, awaiting your recognition. When you awaken to this, you cease to beg and begin to claim. You cease to wander and begin to reign. Look around you at the world, the unrest, the fear, the wars, the divisions. Why do these persist? Because men seek to change outer conditions while leaving the inner unchanged. They attempt to prune the branches of the tree while ignoring the root. But the root of life is belief, and the subconscious is the soil. If you desire a new world, you must plant new seeds. This is why Paul declared, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." Romans chapter 12:2. Only inner transformation produces outer transformation. Consider Napoleon Hill, who revealed in his classic writings that every fortune begins with an idea. Ideas are thoughts of the mind, and when impressed with faith upon the subconscious, they generate wealth, inventions, enterprises, and empires. The riches of the world are not mined first from the earth, but from the mind. The oil wells, the skyscrapers, the railroads, the industries, all were first invisible images in someone's thought. The riches of your life, too, will come not from outer luck, but from inner vision. Ernest Holmes, founder of the science of mind, declared that we live in a universe of law and love, where thought is creative and belief is causative. He showed that healing, prosperity, and harmony are not miracles in the sense of violations of law, but demonstrations of law rightly used. And he pointed men back again and again to the infinite mind within them, which responds unfailingly to belief. Therefore, beloved, the time has come to release all thought of struggle, chance, and fate. There is no chance in a universe of law. There is no fate but the one you create by your thought. There is only the divine order which unfolds according to the seed you sow in the subconscious. Sow fear, reap fear. Sow faith, reap victory. Sow resentment, reap discord. Sow love, reap harmony. Sow abundance, reap riches. Let us now speak of the higher prayer, for prayer is the bridge between conscious choice and subconscious fulfillment. Prayer is not begging a reluctant deity. Prayer is the soul's acceptance of what already is. Prayer is the song of the heart that knows the answer before the evidence appears. When Jesus said, "What things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them," Mark 11:24, he revealed the essence of true prayer. To believe you have received is to impress the subconscious with the finished picture. The outer senses may say, "It is not yet." The heart must say, "It is done." And the subconscious, accepting the heart's decree, moves heaven and earth to make it visible. This is why gratitude is the highest form of prayer. To give thanks for the answer before it appears is to act from faith. Gratitude is not only the response to blessing, it is the cause of blessing. For in giving thanks in advance, you affirm possession, and the subconscious brings it forth. Say often, "Thank you, Father, that my prayer is already answered." Feel the joy of the answered state. Live in the consciousness of having, and soon the having will appear. Beloved, let us apply this to health. If you are beset by illness, do not dwell on symptoms. Do not rehearse your troubles. Instead, affirm life. Say, "The healing power of God is flowing through me now, vitalizing every atom of my being. I am strong, radiant, whole, and free." Picture why. Ourself, walking, running, laughing, rejoicing. See yourself in perfect health. Speak of health, think of health, expect health, and the subconscious receiving the pattern will restore the body to match the mind. Apply it to wealth. Instead of saying, "I am broke, I am struggling," say, "I am supplied, I am prospered, I am successful. Infinite riches flow to me freely. I am a channel of God's abundance, and money serves me in love." Picture yourself enjoying abundance, paying your bills with ease, blessing others with your surplus. Speak prosperity, feel prosperity, believe prosperity, and the subconscious, accepting the image, will reorganize your world accordingly. Apply it to love. Instead of saying, "No one loves me," say, "I am love. I radiate love. I attract love. Divine love draws to me the right companion in perfect harmony, in perfect joy." Picture yourself in loving companionship. Speak with warmth, act with kindness, live as though love already surrounds you, and the subconscious, impressed with this reality, will bring the answer. Beloved, nothing is too small for prayer, and nothing too great. The infinite mind that governs galaxies is the same mind that knows the hairs of your head. All power is one power, and it responds to your belief. So I say to you, take this law not as theory but as practice. Each day, set aside time to quiet the conscious mind, to picture the end you desire, to affirm its reality, to feel its joy, to give thanks in advance. Do this with persistence, with love, with faith, and watch the miracles unfold. For they will not be miracles in the sense of accidents. They will be the lawful outworking of divine principle, as certain as gravity, as sure as sunrise. And you will look back upon your life once bound by fear, lack, and struggle, and you will say, truly this one thought, that the subconscious mind, united with divine law, can do all things, has changed my destiny forever. Beloved, as we approach the close of this sacred discourse, I would engrave upon your soul the eternal law. What you unite with in thought you bring forth in form. Your subconscious mind is the creative workshop of God within you. It is impartial, tireless, and unfailing. It takes the impress of your belief and returns it multiplied, whether that belief be of fear or of faith, of bondage or of freedom, of sickness or of health. Therefore guard your inner speech, for every idle word is a seed. Guard your inner images, for every picture is a prophecy. Guard your inner feelings, for every emotion is a magnet. When you align all three, thought, image, and feeling, with truth, nothing can withstand the harvest of good that must come. Here again the ancient promise, thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee, and the light shall shine upon thy ways. Job chapter 22:28. Your decree is your inner word, spoken in faith. Your establishment is the subconscious response. The light that shines is the divine order revealing itself in your outer world. Do not say, I will try. To try is to doubt. Say, I am. Say, it is done. Say, I receive now. For God is the eternal now, and the subconscious responds only to the present tense. When you say, I will be healed, you postpone the healing. When you say, I am healed, the subconscious accepts it as true, and the healing process begins. This is why Jesus declared, before Abraham was, I am. John 8:58. The I am is the eternal self, untouched by time, beyond past and future. When you say I am and unite it with health, wealth, peace, and love, you awaken the eternal truth of your being. Beloved, let us take a final example. A woman destitute and alone began to learn this law. Every day she affirmed, I am one with God's abundance. I am rich, happy, and free. Money flows to me through channels expected and unexpected. I give thanks for God's supply. She wrote these words, she spoke them, she felt them. At first, nothing seemed to change, but she persisted. Weeks later, a forgotten inheritance was discovered. Opportunities opened. A loving companion entered her life. Within a year, her world was transformed. Did chance do this? No. The subconscious, impressed with truth, rearranged the outer world according to the inner decree. So it is with you. Persist, believe, affirm, visualize, give thanks. Do not dig up the seed with doubt. Let the law work, for the law never fails. And remember, abundance is not for yourself alone. You are blessed to be a blessing. You are prospered to prosper others. You are healed to be a channel of healing. You are loved to radiate love. The more you give, the more you receive. For giving and receiving are one. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together, and running over. Luke 6:38. Therefore each day bless others, speak prosperity for them, rejoice in their success, affirm their healing, radiate love. In blessing others you bless yourself, for there is only one life, one mind, one subconscious in which we all live and move and have our being. Beloved, the age of fear is ending. The age of faith is dawning. The world cries out for souls who will dare to believe, to imagine, to affirm, to love, to surrender, to live by the higher law. Will you be one of them? Will you be the light in your family, in your community, in your generation? The choice is yours and the power is within you. Say with me now, not as a mere phrase, but as a living truth. I am one with infinite life. I am guided by infinite wisdom. I am prospered by infinite supply. I am healed by infinite presence. I am loved by infinite love. All that I need, all that I desire, all that I dream is mine now through the power of my subconscious mind. Hold this in your heart. Speak it each day. Live from its reality, and you will discover with unshakable certainty that this one thought, that belief in the power of the subconscious mind aligned with divine law, changes your destiny forever. And now, beloved, go forth in peace and confidence and joy, for the truth has made you free.